Tonight on WVUA 23 News, the city held a foreclosure sale for properties. What was sold and who were the lucky winners?
And rain is moving into central and west Alabama. Look at that local forecast coming up in weather.
And the holiday spirit is being served ahead of schedule. What food giveaways are happening this week? WVUA 23 starts right now.
This is WVUA 23 News.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Mauricio Gomez. Our top story tonight, cleaning up after an overnight blaze in Tuscaloosa. A fire broke out at the Pep Boys on Skyland Boulevard early this morning. Tuscaloosa Fire Rescue arrived on the scene to heavy smoke and flames. Only one car was inside during the fire. The fire was put out by 3:20 a.m. and there were no injuries. This is what the damage looks like today. The cause is still under investigation. Some changes are on the way in the weather. Chief Meteorologist Richard Scott is here in detail with details. It's Crash Responder Week, Safety Week in Alabama, and AL.com is reminding drivers and first responders how to stay safe when an accident happens on the roadways. For drivers and change lanes, slow down for police, tow trucks, and any vehicles responding to a crash. Drivers are encouraged to clear it and steer it. So if you can safely get your car off on the roadway after an accident, do it. As for responders, stay updated on the most recent training and follow the quick clearing procedures. And 5 men were arrested in an undercover operation targeting solicitors of sex from minors. The West Alabama Human Trafficking Task Force was behind the operation. It was designed to catch predators meeting with children for the purpose of sex. All were charged with electronic solicitation of a child and traveling to meet a child for an unlawful sex act. Several properties around the city of Tuscaloosa now have new owners. The city held their annual foreclosure sale today. During this process, the city auctioned off various properties to the highest bidder. Deputy City Attorney tells us they auctioned off about 15 empty lots during the sale.
Empty lots are not good for neighborhoods. Hopefully some of these people are going to build a house to sell or rent, and that's good for the neighborhood.
The sale is a way for the city to try and recover some of the costs associated with demolishing the properties. The Bibb County Sheriff's Department is warning residents about a new scam. The scammers called for victims asking for money in exchange for warrants and warrant information. The Sheriff's Department reminds residents they do not call anyone regarding warrants. The Greene County Sheriff's Office filed motions to dismiss lawsuits against several independent gaming and bingo sites and locations. Dozens of online websites were named, but Sheriff Joe Bennison says they have legitimate business and bingo and gaming in Greene County. This comes after Bennison outlawed bookend bingo, which is similar to slot machines. The Pickens County Sheriff's Office and the District Attorney are collecting board games as part of the First Family Board Game Drive. Their goal is to give every first grader board game by holidays. The deadline to donate is this Friday, and you can donate at the Sheriff's Office or on their Amazon link. Board games are an important part of brain development and promotes family time. Dancing and singing and enrichment are all a part of the Connect program at Christ Episcopal Church, now a local nonprofit.
3 cats.
Connect has been helping people in the community with Alzheimer's and dementia for over a year. Their meetings are open to anyone with memory loss and include a group for loved ones. Rector Paul Pradditt says Connect is a way for attendees to spend time with each other, but it also can stimulate their minds.
It's amazing some of the experiences that they've had here in the program where their memories kind of come back, whether it's through music, whether it's through an activity. So we do a variety of things, but they're active from the moment they get here until the moment they leave.
Connect's next meeting will be on Wednesday morning from 9:30 until 11:30 a.m. The time change took place a couple of weeks ago, but some people are still struggling with the switch. The extra hour means extra sleep and brighter mornings, but it can be totally different for others, especially for people living with major depression, seasonal affective disorder, or other mood conditions. Dr. John Burkhart offers this advice on how you can cope with the time change.
Get outside early in the morning so you get some sunlight. Still remain active during your day. And then if there's something else more that comes up, let's just say, hey, this is a tough time of the year, go find somebody that might help you and, kind of talk to them about that.
Some lawmakers have been pushing to make the time change permanent, but so far the legislation has been stalled in Congress. What started out as a small Thanksgiving meal at the Benjamin Barnes YMCA has turned into much more. Today, volunteers handed out more than 150 food boxes to families in need, and the drive-by line wrapped up all around the block. Richard Pelt is the CEO of Mind Changers, a nonprofit that partners with the YMCA and other local organizations. He says the giveaway is a helping hand for families who otherwise cannot afford a Thanksgiving meal.
They're really very appreciative of what we're doing. During the tough times nowadays, when the holidays, with inflation so high, gas prices, grocery prices, we just want to be able to give back the little bit we can to help families through this holiday season.
Pelt says they plan on making the drive-thru an annual event. If you couldn't make it to the giveaway this morning, you can visit the McDonald Hughes Center tonight at 6 for a community Thanksgiving dinner. Central High School got a big gift today from Dick's Sporting Goods. The $5,000 is to support the Falcons, athletics, cheerleaders, and the band. Celebrated the donation with a pep rally outside the store. The school found out about the winning grant last month and celebrated today.
It means everything. It means that the community is behind us. They see the work that we're doing. They see the work that we're trying to do with our athletes and our students, and they completely support us. So we're all about the support. We're all about being in the community. Our sports programs, cheerleaders, they're very active. They show up to everything. So it's good to see that they see us being visual, and we're out there and we're doing what we can for our community, and the community is giving back to us for it.
The Dick's Sporting Goods Foundation has donated more than $80 million and has helped more than 1.5 million kids. The Alabama Mural Trail is offering a new way to explore the state and win prizes while doing it. There are nearly 300 murals across 60 counties with multiple murals in some cities. There are 4 murals in Tuscaloosa County, and they are on 31st Street, 15th Street, and University Boulevard and Main Avenue in Northport. The event is being hosted by the University of Alabama Center for Economic Development. The goal is to get people to visit places in Alabama they might have not visited before.
Show you the address, it'll show you a map, and so you can navigate to the mural, visit the mural, and then you can check in while you're at the mural. Once you rack up enough points, you can go to any one of our 12 partners and pick up a prize, which is custom Alabama Mural Trail stickers.
Visit alabamamuraltrail.org if you would like to add a mural to the site. Time is ticking on another possible government shutdown, how the House is scrambling to come up with a deal the Senate can agree on. And with the holiday season comes in dangers in celebrating, how to stay safe and avoid fires when we come back. Time is running out for Congress to avoid a government shutdown this weekend. Today is the first time the House is able to vote on Speaker Mike Johnson's two-step funding plan, but a handful of his fellow Republicans are poised to block it. If it can't even clear a procedural vote, Johnson might need support from Democrats. That's what cost former Speaker Kevin McCarthy the gavel. President Biden is now signaling he might be willing to back the plan. The Consumer Product Safety Commission used dramatic demonstrations to warn of the pitfalls that can ruin a happy holiday, and the stunning statistics behind injuries related to holiday decorating, cooking, and toys. Karen Kaifa has the warnings everyone should hear.
Dramatic demonstrations to underscore how the season of lights and wonder can bring household hazards. The Consumer Product Safety Commission releasing a new report about fires and injuries related to holiday decorating, cooking, and more.
How the unthinkable can happen in an instant. Fires involving Christmas trees and candles are far too frequent in this holiday season.
The CPSC says an average of 1,600 cooking fires take place on Thanksgiving Day, more than 3 times the daily average. CPSC says to stay close while food is on the stove or in the oven, and place a turkey fryer far from the house, never on the porch or in the garage. The CPSC also reports nearly 15,000 people were treated in hospital emergency rooms last holiday season between November and January due to decorating-related injuries. More than 40% of those injuries involved falls. And a dry tree is a more flammable tree. A live Christmas tree needs plenty of water, and check for broken light bulbs and frayed wires regularly. When it comes to holiday toys,
When you're buying toys, making sure they're age appropriate, because we do see a lot of injuries associated with small parts for children.
CPSC did say their researchers observed a downward trend from 2015 to 2022 in toy-related injuries for children 14 years and younger. In Washington, I'm Karen Kafa.
Business this time of year started hiring extra workers to stock shelves and help with orders and deliveries. But this year, a job services firm says the number of seasonal positions publicly advertised this fall fell to the lowest level in a decade. The drop could be because of economists are projecting a pullback on holiday shopping for the rest of the year after a summer of big spending. That and retailers have generally caught up on pandemic staffing shortages.
And got rain in the forecast, much more coming up after the break. Stick around. And got rain in the forecast for a Wednesday. Still a couple of showers on Thursday. Friday, the rain chance a bit lower. For the weekend, we are looking very nice. Temperatures back in the 60s. A little cooler, though, at night with those upper 30s coming up.
Oh, yeah, for sure. That's the kind of weather I would like back in Florida, especially like me being from South Florida. That's like optimal weather for me.
Oh, perfect looking weekend there.
Yeah. Is Mac Jones out as the starting quarterback? We're going to hand it on over to my boy Carson over there with sports.
Thanks, Mauricio. Is Matt Jones out as the starting quarterback of the New England Patriots? And Chattanooga head coach Rusty White on facing the Alabama Crimson Tide. Sports is next. Should be a great day in sports coming up this week. What do you think, Mauricio?
Oh, yeah, for sure. It's definitely an exciting, it's a little bit of a bittersweet experience that it's potentially for a lot of students, it might be their last home undergrad game. And then for some students, it might just be like their first game. It's just such a surreal feeling for a lot of those students.
Absolutely.
And we'll be back in a little bit right after the break. So now we'll take a final look at the weather.
Yeah, so it's going to be a little cooler tonight, windy out there. Also going to be rainy across the region. Wednesday's going to rain. The weekend, though, beautiful weather as temperatures return into the 60s.
Well, that last story we just saw was very touching, especially with, you see how beautiful it is when we all make connections with each other, when we're all standing together rather than just being so divided and with different opinions and whatnot. Especially for that young man to see him make an impact in his community was just very touching to watch. What would you say, Carson?
100%, I agree. Just a great story of just really heartfelt, really hit home with a lot of families out there. So
awesome.
So that's going to do it for us for right now. We're always on updates on WVUA.com and on social media platforms. Have a good night.